everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming to our little event today. As we said, this is a brief event, just 11 to 11:45. We're going to be talking a little bit about how you guys can get involved at Waterloo. So I hope you guys enjoy the event. I'm going to give you sort of a brief schedule for today. So like I said, this event is super casual. We just want to tell you guys a little bit about how you guys can get involved at Waterloo, both through this virtual environment and whenever you do come to Waterloo in person as well. So we're actually going to start off with a representative from WUSA Clubs, Nada. She's going to talk a little bit about the clubs that you can get involved in through WUSA. And then after that, we're going to have Natasha Simmons. She's going to talk about the Move Your Mind program. And then after that, we're just going to have a couple more things that you guys can get involved in through Waterloo. We're going to talk a little bit more about the ELI events if you guys aren't super familiar with them. If you haven't been to a lot of events, we'll talk about some upcoming events and that sort of thing as well. So without further ado, I will welcome Nada to speak a little bit about WUSA Clubs. I'll stop sharing my screen here. There you go.
Okay, so hello everybody. So I have this little presentation here once it cooperates with me. I swear I know what I'm doing.
Take your time.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Nada. I hope you can all see my screen. So I'm the Vice President Student Life at the Waterloo Undergraduate Student Association. So that is your student association as an undergraduate student that you're automatically a member of. And so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to get involved on campus through WUSA. So that can be through getting involved with clubs, our services, our orientation, Welcome Week, or other student bodies. So I kind of put a little screenshot over here of our website, and I'll actually just go ahead and take you to the website because I think it's easier when it's done kind of interactively. So how can you get involved on campus? Basically, you go to wusa.ca, enter that into your address bar, and then click on Get Involved. And then once you get to this page, you're going to find a variety of things that you can get involved with. So first of all, we have our clubs. We offer approximately about 250 clubs that you are able to take part in. So those can range from academic clubs, entrepreneurship, cultural, entertainment, so on and so forth. So if you click on clubs, it'll just take you to the clubs page. And then if you scroll down, you can basically take a look at the clubs listing with all the names of our clubs and their contact information. So for example, if you're interested in joining the chess club because you love playing chess, you can pretty much look up chess club and then you're going to find their contact information. Take that and then get in contact with them, and then you kind of automatically go from there. But then what happens if you don't see a club on the club system or the club's listing system? What happens if you want to start your own club? Let's say I want to start the coffee club, where because I love coffee and I'm a coffee enthusiast, I want to start a club where people can talk about coffee. So here you can go to starting a club, and this page will take you automatically to our kind of how to start your club page. And then from there, you can also get involved with the process of being the founder of a club, which is pretty cool. So that is for clubs. I would also like to go over kind of our elections, especially that some of them are happening right now, particularly for our Faculty of Math and Faculty of Science. So we're having students of members of council be elected. So if you click on elections, you're going to find a bunch of information on how to get involved if you're that type of person who likes getting involved with governance. So yeah, this is your one stop where you can learn about governance and the different governing bodies that are or guide WUSA. And so if you are that type of person who wants to get involved in terms of seeing change happen and being a representative, then this is where you need to go. And as you can see here, we're having a by-election happen right now for our Students' Council and Senate by-elections. And another thing that I wanted to emphasize is orientation. So I know that to a lot of you, you've attended orientation online for this year, unfortunately, because of the circumstances that we're in right now. But in general, we have an opportunity for students to get involved with orientation, whether that be by being an orientation leader and kind of interacting with students one-on-one, or kind of working in the in the back scene and working on more of the programming part of things and organizing the programming that is presented to our first year students, our international students, or our exchange students. And then one other thing that I wanted to emphasize as well was our services. Unfortunately, it's not included on this particular page, so you can just go on to the clubs and services tab right here. And then if you click on the services directory, you will find our student-led services. So I want to emphasize those particularly because you can get involved through those by being either a coordinator, an executive, or even just a volunteer. So our WUSA services, they offer services for our students, whereas a question would be how are services different from clubs? Clubs are more kind of casual. It's a mean of having students gather together with like-minded individuals who have kind of similar enthusiasm towards a particular subject or topic. But there's really nothing asked of you as a club. It's just kind of a mean of communication where we give you the space to meet together and then you do your thing. Whereas our WUSA services, for example, our bike center is there for students who need help with bikes or need to tune their bikes. So you come in to the student-funded place in the Student Life Center and then do your thing. And so we have 10 student-led services that goes from the bike center, the campus response team, co-op connections, the food support service, GLOW Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, and then we have International and Canadian Student Network, which I'm pretty sure you're going to find this particularly helpful because this is where you can connect with our student leaders and kind of build those connections with other international students around you, even if they're from the same culture or the same background that you're from. And then we have MATES, our main peer support service. We have our off-campus community, which is another great resource if you are not living on campus this term, as I'm assuming a lot of you aren't because of the current situation. So this is also another resource that will be very helpful for those folks who aren't on campus but require kind of assistance with getting to know Waterloo better, getting to know the Waterloo community better, which can also occur off campus and doesn't necessarily have to occur on campus just because you're living in residence. And then we have a racialized service, which is RAISE. And then lastly, but certainly not least, our Women's Center. So all of those are 10 services. They're student-led services that you can get involved with as well. And I'm going to show you how you can get involved with these, and that will probably be kind of the last point that I'm going to bring up. So if you kind of just want to reach out and ask a question to any of the student-led services, you can basically find their contact information here. Just click on their email, and then you can ask them whatever question you want. But if you're looking to actually get involved and be either a coordinator, an exec, or a volunteer, you can go to leads.uwaterloo.ca. Obviously log in with your credentials and then click on jobs. And then if you scroll down, you're going to find a lot of our student-led services to have postings. So they're going to look kind of something like that, where it's going to say WUSA, dash bike center or glow or food support service, and then it's going to say volunteer, and then you apply from there. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a very, very important website for all of you as well, to kind of refer back to, because this doesn't only include opportunities that you can get involved with that are particular to WUSA, but more of kind of the university as a whole. So you can get involved with accessibility services, advancement, Renison, whatever. So yeah, I would highly recommend that you put this down in your important links to visit, both the leads.uwaterloo.ca website and our wusa.ca website as well. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for me. I hope this was helpful and informative. I know that it's a lot of information. So if you have any kind of questions for me right now, please let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them. But if you kind of come up with another question off the top of your head after this is done, reach out to me. I'm just gonna drop my email in the comments section here, and I'd be happy to answer your email as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Nada. That was amazing. That was a lot of information. Even me being almost a fourth-year student, I didn't even know there were that many clubs and services that you can join through WUSA. So that's awesome. I think we did have one question prior to. Halil just asked, he said, can I create a specific, create a club for a specific game and get into tournaments with the club for that game?
Yeah, so yeah, I can see the comment from before saying that you're hoping that there is a gaming club. Yeah, we do have a gaming club, and so no, you can easily create that gaming club. It just has to be specific enough and not overlap with any of our other gaming clubs. So for example, we have a League of Legends club, and that's pretty specific for what it does, and it's a pretty big deal. If it wasn't for COVID, you would find them doing their monthly tournaments in the SLC Great Hall, and it's a whole event that occurs on the weekend. So if you're interested in creating your own club that's specific enough, you can definitely do that. Just go to the clubs page, and then it'll give you kind of a step-by-step process of what you need to do in order to ensure that your club is created and that you have enough consultation that you're able to kind of get that going.
Can I ask another question, please?
Yeah, for sure.
So I just found that there's a sport club already. They have, I think, teams for Heroes of the Storm and other games. Is there any chance for me to get in contact with them and tell them that I want to create team for the game called Valorant, and we can get in tournaments like that?
Yeah, for sure. That's actually something that we always advise you to do before you kind of submit an application, because it's a lot of work. So we usually advise you to reach out to particular clubs to kind of run the idea by them. So I'm not sure if on the same page you can see their contact information or not. But my advice right off the bat is that look them up on Facebook. Most, if not all of our clubs have Facebook pages. So look them up on Facebook, try to connect with them over there. If you can't get in touch with, let's say, the president, then email me. I'll make sure to get you in contact with the president, because I can kind of see that on the back end on my computer. So no, that would actually be a great step for you to kind of first reach out, run the idea by them, get their input on what the process is like to run a club, and then go from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, Nada. I was just about to say that a lot of our students don't actually can't access Facebook, just depending on the country that they're in. So like she said, guys, if you guys do just, if you can't access Facebook, you can also, she put her email down here at the bottom, so you can just contact her that way. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. That was a great question, Halil. Thank you. Does anybody else have any more questions for Nada before she logs off here?
So that's the email of Nada?
Sorry?
Oh, okay, I got my answer.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Sorry. Yeah, that's her email at the bottom there in the chat. You can see it.
It's vpsl@wusa.ca. Pretty simple.
Perfect. Awesome. And again, guys, if you guys do have any other questions, you can also ask Roy and I, and we can sort of delegate and find the appropriate contact, either Nada or anybody else through WUSA. So if you feel more comfortable, you can contact us either through email or WeChat or WhatsApp. Once again, thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for giving us a little bit of a tidbit of, you know, different services and clubs that our students can get involved in. That's awesome.
Thank you for having me, and I hope that this was valuable information, and looking forward to getting more questions to my email if anyone has any further questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah, you as well. Bye. Okay, so I'll share my screen here again. Okay. So now we're going to have Natasha Simmons talk a little bit about the Move Your Mind program. So Natasha, whenever you're ready, thank you again for coming and welcome.
Of course, thanks for having me. So Move Your Mind is a program run through athletics that essentially works on removing barriers for people to be active, because we all know that there's so many different benefits that you can get from being active. So we want to make sure that we can help you be active so that you can get the most out of your experience at Waterloo. So the main kind of idea of the program is that you'd meet up with me, the coordinator. We would kind of figure out what the best course of action would be in terms of what activities you like and how often you want to do them and things like that. And then we would match you up with a buddy, one of our volunteers. And essentially you would meet up however often you'd like to, whether that's once or twice a week or once every 2 weeks. It's really up to you guys. And then they would do check-ins and hold you accountable and kind of help encourage you and motivate you to actually be active, because we all know it's a lot easier to do when there's someone else doing it with you. So the program itself is a peer-to-peer program, so they're all students in terms of the volunteers as well as participants, and we also cater to both undergrad and graduate students. I actually liked how Nada shared her screen and like went on the website, so I'm going to do that as well. We'll show this.
There you go. You should be able to share your screen now.
Perfect. So this is the Waterloo Athletics website, which is athletics.uwaterloo.ca, or you can also type gowarriorsgo.ca and it'll take you to the site. So for Move Your Mind, you'll go to Recreation and then find Move Your Mind in the middle here. And we do have a video on this page. It's very old. We're working on getting a new one, but it does share the ideas behind what Move Your Mind is. But there's a whole write-up about what it is, so that we provide resources and such, so you have healthy living. And the best part about this program is that it's very much catered to the individual. So I meet up with each of the participants individually, I meet up with all the volunteers, match them up based on personality and the activities they like, so the partnership will be the most successful, and then do check-ins throughout the term to make sure that everything's going well, and if we need to change things, then that's what we do. There's a bunch of information here if you wanted to read about it yourself. Our referrals come from a variety of different places on campus. They can come from academic advisors, they can come from counseling services, they can come from health services. We've also done self-referrals. or you can also refer a friend if you think that they would benefit from it. So on this website, you would enter all your information, your student number, term, your email address, things like that. So there's a bunch of different questions here, and then just submit it, and I will get that and then be in touch within a day or two just to get a meeting set up so we can figure out what the best thing for you would be. And a really cool thing because of COVID is that actually Move Your Mind was an in-person program. So everyone would meet up like at the gym at the CIF or at PAC, which are both facilities on campus. But now that no one's allowed on campus, everything's moved online. So we've had buddies over the summer do video chats with each other or do like a phone call when they go for a walk in their respective locations. So it's been really interesting in terms of expanding the program past what it has been in this before. So as I said, there's two different parts to Move Your Mind. There's the participants and there's volunteers. So if you feel like you would benefit from having someone to hold you accountable and to motivate you and encourage you, or it's like you're just kind of starting out being active, you don't really know what to do, you kind of want a little bit of help in that sense, or if you're kind of struggling with your mental health and want like a buddy to talk to and hang out with and be active with, then you can definitely refer yourself through this form. But our volunteers actually get applied to through leads, which Nada just talked about. We've closed our volunteers for this term just because we are already a month into the program. In the event that we need more volunteers, then it'll open up later on this term. But if you'd like to be involved next term, you're more than welcome to. It'll be up sometime through the winter break, and then it'll close about in mid-January. So if that's something you want to do, then feel free to apply through leads. And also, this is my email here. It's I'll put it in the chat as well. But if you have any questions about the program or anything else outside of what we talked about today, then feel free to send it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natasha. I actually had one question for you. So I was just wondering, you said, you know, any students can get involved, whether they're super athletic or not really into athletics that much. What would you say if somebody that's super new to, you know, athletics and recreation, and they're not really sure how they can get involved? What are the type of activities that they'd be interested in doing? How would you go about that?
So in the meeting that we have, or like I would have with each participant, typically when we're on campus, we have a whole list of all the things that athletics offers, and we'll kind of go through and see what interests them and what doesn't. And also based on the conversation we have, I'm fairly familiar with all the things that athletics offers, so I can kind of figure out what they might like, what they don't. But it's definitely two-sided, and we kind of talk things out in terms of what they want to do and what they don't. And then because we're not on campus, there's been a lot of like YouTube videos of like home workouts, if they have anything to work out with, or if they just want to do body weight. Some people have done like Zumba classes together. There's a lot of different options out there. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I asked because I know, you know, not a lot of people maybe are as involved with athletics, so maybe they don't even know what they like. So that's awesome that you have a lot of different choices. And like Natasha said, guys, you know, if you do have any extra questions, again, you can talk to us and we can ask her as well. And then Natasha, if you also just want to put your email in the chat there, just so they can contact you if they have any more additional questions.
Sure. I don't know how to stop sharing my screen.
If you just kind of hover at the top, go to the top of your screen, and it should be in the middle, and you'll see a little red button that says, yeah, there we go. Awesome. Does anybody have any more questions for Natasha before she heads out? You can type it in the chat too if you don't want to turn on your microphone. No? Okay. So you guys do have her email down there if you want to get to know a little bit more about the program. But yeah, thank you so much for coming and chatting a little bit with us. It was great. It was great to get more information based off of that. We also have a couple of promotional posters from the Move Your Mind program that we can also post in the chats if you guys are interested in kind of getting a little more information or just grabbing that, I guess, summarization of what Natasha said today. Awesome. Thank you so much, Natasha, for coming and joining us today.
No problem. Hope everyone has a good day.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
No problem. Bye.
Asma, I see here that you said yes, please. Yeah, I will try to grab that little poster as a visual so you guys can sort of read about it a little more on your own. And then, like I said, if you guys have any more questions, you can ask Roy or I, or you can just ask Natasha directly. I would say probably ask her directly because she kind of knows the ins and outs a little bit more, so it might be easier to ask her. But yeah, I'll share those. You can also check the weekly newsletters that you get because we like to post information about additional sort of activities and clubs that you guys can get involved in there too. So now we're going to talk a little bit more. Roy and I are sort of going to talk a little bit more about the other clubs and other things, other ways that you guys can get involved on campus. So I'm just going to hand it over to Roy and he can share his screen and talk a little bit more about the clubs and other services on UW.
Sure. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, you're good.
Sure. So, if you want to get involved in sports activities with your friends, well, you will be able to find lots of opportunities at University of Waterloo. I'm here to introduce some of the most accessible opportunities for you. There are currently 36 sports clubs that operate on the campus, ranging from archery and martial arts to Latin dance and cheerleading. And here is a list of the sports club that are available for everyone to sign up. Yeah. So if you take a good look at the list, you would definitely find one unusual sports club that we wouldn't normally see people play. I give you a hint, it's in the second column. Can you guys see it? Well, it's credit. Well, it's a sport from Harry Potter universe. To be honest, I just heard about this club as well. If you want to know how they play Quidditch in Columbia Icefield without violating air traffic control protocol, I encourage you to sign up for this club yourself in following semester. Practice with them and get to know the game and those interesting people as well. Let's see. University of Waterloo also provides facilities and fields for sports and clubs to conduct their activities. We have outdoor fields and student stadiums in both CIF and PAC buildings that opens to every student. Besides playing sports during regular club sessions, you can also book sessions online and play with your friends anytime. I want to introduce the UW Badminton Club to you, which is a sports club that I had joined once. Badminton Club is open to to players of all skill levels, from beginners to competitive. They have a changing system in place. If you win several games in a row, you will be transferred to next level. They host regular dropping sessions in CIF building, usually 3 times a week. Although they are affected by this pandemic right now, the club still managed to get 2 sections booked every week. So I believe this also can be a great way to get involved at Waterloo. If you will make friends you might not otherwise have met, playing sports will also help with stress and boost your health. It's an opportunity to try something new and have fun. So I really encourage you to join one of the sports club interested on the campus, or just create your own sports club. That'd be all.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with Roy. And I know for a lot of you that probably sounds sort of nerve-wracking, and maybe you're not the type that has really ever played sports or has been involved in sports, which honestly I can give you from firsthand experience. I never played sports growing up. I was more of like the artsy kid. So I can understand it might be a little bit nerve-wracking, but you know, when I first came to university, I started going to the gym a lot, and I started working out and lifting weights and running and that sort of thing. And I found sort of a passion that I never knew I had before. So I would definitely recommend, even if you don't think that there's anything you'd be interested in, you should definitely just try it out and see, you know, there's no harm in trying. And then sort of like Natasha was saying before, there's a lot of sort of online things that you can get involved in right now too. And the Move Your Mind program is great with that because, you know, it helps your physical health, your mental health, whether it's, you know, you just going on a walk and talking to sort of a mentor. If you just need somebody to talk to, that's also a great way to get active and sort of clear your mind and everything. So I would definitely encourage you guys to get involved, you know, if you are interested and if you can. Roy, did you have any other slides or anything else to say there?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen as sort of the last little bit here.
Can I ask you a question before that?
Yeah, of course, Khalil.
Okay, so my question is like, is there an actual soccer team for UV?
I believe there is, right, Roy?
Yeah, I joined a soccer game like last year. Like they play in the snow. It's really fun. But I don't think they have soccer club, but they have soccer team like in the operation.
Yeah, I'm asking for team, like, do we have any chance or there's a like time for us to apply? Because I also played like soccer in amateur Turkish league in here.
Mhm.
So like I was planning to, like, I got injured and stopped playing,
Mhm.
and I was planning to like lose some weight and apply for the team. Is there any chance like that?
To my knowledge, they have a regular match section like actually in full term, but I don't think they host it right now under this pandemic situation.
No, not right now. Like I'm asking after pandemic.
Yeah. So I
Totally.
think they have like a rep league. So if you are experienced and you have actually played before, I'm sure that you can apply to like a rep league, and then it'll probably be the same format as any other league where you have to try out. So I think that is an option, but there's also an option, like Roy said, more leisurely. So if you're just looking for pickup soccer, to just join whenever, I think that's an option as well. I can actually look into that for you, Halil, and I can get back to you on that.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm thinking like I actually want to play for UV in an actual league. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm sure that they have something along the lines of any other league where either you can get recruited or you have tryouts. I'll look into it a little bit more just so I can give you more accurate information. But I know that they have sort of the more, I guess, professional leagues, and then they have just like leisure leagues as well. So I'll let you know about that, okay?
okay, do you have my mail? Like, do you want me to type?
I don't, but I think I have you on WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
So I'll
thank
let
you.
you know. I'll do a little more research on that and I'll let you know about that.
Okay.
Does anybody have any more questions before we sort of move on to our last little section? You can also type it in the chat too. No? Okay. So we'll move on to the last little section here.
Just give us.
Sorry, what'd you say, Roy?
Oh, I saw. I still screen sharing right now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so other ways to get involved. Okay, So one thing I want to sort of mention, you guys probably have information about this already because you know the student experience team likes to spam the chats and send you guys a bunch of emails and stuff about these events, but I thought this would be sort of a great opportunity to also include this at the end as well. So as you guys probably know, EFAS and BASE students have access to virtual events hosted by the student experience team here at ELI. So you do have access to almost every single event. We do have a sort of different arrangement of events. We have academic workshops, we have transitioning to life in Canada workshops, we have social events as well. So basically the academic events more include, stuff around your studies and how you can be a better student and more successful in your program. So a couple examples are the time management workshop. This happened, I believe, a week or two ago with AJ, where he sort of broke down how you can manage your time in university, how you can plan for certain assignments, and reduce your stress in a way where you know exactly what you have to do every single day, every single week. So those type of workshops are really great if you guys, a lot of you are first year students, and I know the transition from high school to university can be a little bit challenging just because you feel like you have a lot more going on in university. So these academic workshops are great to sort of help you adjust as a student and help you sort of gain the skills that you need to be successful at Waterloo. Another event that there was that was hosted in September was the Waterloo website workshop, where it kind of went through all the important websites that you guys might need to use as a student at Waterloo. And then the Microsoft Word for APA formatting, that will happen in October. I have the date on the next slide there, but that's also a great workshop. AJ's hosting that workshop. He's gonna sort of talk to you about citing, which is very, very, very important in university. Every single time you write an essay or do any sort of presentation or report, you need to make sure that you're citing your sources and saying exactly where you found each source. So that's super important. I know APA is usually used for arts students, so if you're in one of the arts programs, or if you're just looking to find out more about how to cite, that's a great way to learn more about that. Moving on, our transitioning to Canada workshops, those are more learning more about the culture about Canada, what it's like to live in Canada. So we actually had a Life in Canada workshop where AJ talked a little bit more about certain things specific to Canada. So, he talked about different places in Canada. He also talked about the currency and sort of just adjusting to life in Canada in general. Also, Roy, I see that the chat is sort of going crazy over here, but I can't open it. So if you can sort of shout it out, whatever people are asking or saying, that would be great.
I just put a link for the recruit team.
Oh, perfect.
Recruit cap, yeah, for the submission.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Another thing in the transitioning to Canada, we have holiday events too. So in October, at our conversation hangouts, we're gonna have 3 or 4 conversation hangouts, but 2 of them are going to be sort of holiday related. So the first one is going to be a Thanksgiving theme, where we're going to talk about the holiday of Thanksgiving in Canada, how we celebrate it, sort of talking about like the food that we have and what the traditions that we have around that holiday. So we'd love it if you guys could come to that if you want to learn a little bit more about the holidays that we celebrate here. We're also going to have a Halloween themed one as well. So I'll give you guys sort of a sneak peek since you guys decided to join this event today, but we were thinking of maybe having everybody dress up in a costume and sort of do that and see everybody's costume. We might have like certain contests and stuff, who has the best costume. So if you're interested in that and getting to know more about what Halloween is about, I would definitely recommend it. We'll also have, if you guys want to like share your favorite candies or that sort of thing, we'll talk about that as well. And then the last little category of events we usually have is social events. So we have speed friending, conversation hangout. This past month we had the bonfire party and the wind-in party. So those were really fun. We had a lot of good laughs, as Khalil might know. So yeah, we had a great time. We recommend you guys coming out to the social events as well. You guys can meet a lot of different people, a lot of people in your own programs. So if you feel like maybe you don't know a lot of people, either in the EFAS program or the BASE program, or even the program that you're studying at Waterloo, this is a great way to get to know people. Roy and I are always there as well. So if you just want to chat with us, we're there to host those. And then this is sort of the events to look forward to this upcoming month in October. So we have a second speed friending session. So if you guys didn't come to the first one at the beginning of September, basically what it is Aleks hosts this. It's pretty much an event where everybody joins. He puts you into breakout rooms with different people, and then you have about 5 to 10 minutes to talk to people. You have conversation prompts, so you have questions, like a list of questions that you can read to one another, and it's just a great way to get to know people more and find common interests and that sort of thing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Roy and I will also be there, so if you want to get to know a little bit more about us, then you can also join as well. Like I said, we have the conversation hangout Thanksgiving edition. So this is Thursday, October 8th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. This will be next Thursday, I believe. Yeah, next Thursday. So join us for that. That'll be awesome. I'm going to try to get some like Thanksgiving related food so you guys can see what we sort of eat for Thanksgiving. If I can't make it, then I'll put pictures up so you guys can see. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Like I was mentioning before, the Microsoft Word for APA formatting is October 19th with AJ from 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. And then we have pronunciation games. This is also with AJ. So this is a great event if you're looking to practice your English a little more and pronunciating certain words. This is great. And then we have the Cross Canada virtual bus trip. So we had the cross cultural virtual bus trip last week. Now we have the Cross Canada virtual bus trip. So pretty much it's sort of like a virtual bus trip where we take you around Canada, show you some really cool spots, give you a little bit of history and information about certain places in Canada. So that'll be a lot of fun as well. That'll be on October 28th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we have the conversation hangout, the Halloween edition. Like I said, we're looking to get dressed up. So we'll talk a little bit about Halloween, maybe share some of our favorite Halloween movies and that sort of thing. So also, sorry, you guys can probably hear my dog in the background. The reason I sort of tell you guys about these events is these are great ways, not just to get to know people, but also, you know, get involved as well. So if you're ever wondering, you know, what's the point of going to these events, that sort of thing, this is another way to get involved and meet new friends. And who knows, maybe you meet someone that has a similar interest to you and you guys decide like, oh, we want to start a club of our own. That's another way that sort of, it correlates to getting involved at Waterloo. Another great thing I like to tell students is, you know, a lot of these events teach you important skills that you can put on your resume later. So if you're ever applying to a job, you can mention to an employer like, oh, I actually went to an information session about how to do APA formatting. And that sort of shows the skills that you learned, how you went out of your way to learn those skills as well. So if you're ever wondering, you know, what's the point of all this? There's a lot of different reasons you should get involved. Yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen here. I just see Khalil's comment down here, you're the best. Yeah, so does anybody have any more questions? We're going to stick around for a couple more minutes. If you guys, you know, have to go somewhere, if you have class or anything, you're more than welcome to leave. Thank you again for coming. But if you want to stick around, ask a couple more questions, Roy and I will be here for that. Bye. That was probably like a lot of information, I feel.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, bye, Khalil.